probably gonna go back and hopefully the sound quality will be better. I think. But I got it. Anyway, what we gotta do? So next, I'm gonna reuse the old wires for the what is this? This is a first ball, second ball light micro switch. And I have these labeled, but these are not the actual lane or the actual wire numbers. These are the terminal numbers that they attach to. So you got 1, 7, and 8. And if you come over here and double check on switch 6, you have the white going to 8, the black going to 7, and the green going to 4. So they have that mislabeled. So goes in there. This is the first ball, second ball light micro switch. Alright. And next, this one's labeled 3 and 5. So 3 and 5 would be switch 2. Switch 2 is the turret jam switch. So I'm going to go grab some scotch tape. Alright, so I can't find my painter's tape, scotch tape back here, but I am going to grab the electrical tape. So the turret jam is going to have the electrical tape on it. The deck jam, I'm going to put some white Teflon tape and hold it on there with the electrical tape. And then the cross conveyor micro switch won't have any tape on it at all. So that's how I'm going to differentiate between the three. So deck jam is going to be white, and then turret jam is going to be black. So whenever I go to put them on the machine, I know what to wire to what switch. And I've done this a couple different ways before. I've had the quick connect butt connectors on there, and I've also done, which I'm going to do, 6-wire trailer wire wires, and just plug and play. Perfect for doing the micro switches underneath there. Alright, turret jam. Terminals 3 and 5.
there's the turret jam switch. I'll run that through. And then the deck jam, you have terminals 2 and 3. So the way this works, if y'all didn't know, is just a power transfer. So you have the switches where they wire in, and then they connect, and then they come through to the blackout switch. This blackout switch transfers it to here, and then the other blackout switch transfers it from here to here. So at any point, if it's open, it's not going to work, but it's all wired in series. So whenever you're checking them, if you can find voltage up to here and then no voltage here, that means you have a problem with your deck jam switch. Just a quick little check. If you don't know why it's blacked out, or if there's something wrong with one of the switches and you can't figure it out. I love how the washer was magnetic but the screw wasn't. That made a lot of sense, didn't it? Holy crap, I got that screw started with my finger. And then from number 2, right here, is where it goes to the masking unit switch, and then comes back to 1, and then from 1 it'll go over. If I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure that's the order of it, but that's why the rear switch being connected where it is turns it on, and then the front counter switch will wire in between the same 2 terminals. Not the front counter switch, but the scoring will wire in between those same 2 terminals to get her going. Oh goodness. Come on, get down right. Get down on it. There we go, terminal 3, and then we'll run this up. There's your deck jam switch. Alright, cross conveyor micro switch, I'll worry about that one later. Alright, now we have motor plug. Wires 26, 23, and 72. 26 is the ground wire. 23 and 72. 72 connects to the motor contactor at the bottom left, and 23 connects to D on the terminal strip. So I'll have to get the plug, which is the one that I have propped this up. Motor plug goes in right there. So I'll have to have wire from there to there. Alright. Should be enough. I should need 2 blacks and a green. That should be plenty. am going to put terminals on these just to make them go on easier. I'm one of those people that believe in one take. So, you're ever watching my videos and you get upset because you feel like it could have been done better? I'm sorry. I'm not going to spend a bunch of time editing and doing all this other stuff whenever all I'm doing is showing people how to do stuff, and then I'm doing it as I'm actually doing it. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to go through. If I make mistakes, I make mistakes. If I don't, I don't. It is what it is. We're all human. I'm not going to pretend that I'm perfect. I'm wiring this plug in. Sorry, I'm off screen. Matter of fact, I gotta get this in. That's a little better. So not only do those ring terminals that I put on there make it go on a little bit better, but they also make sure that it's probably not going to come off there. It does come off there if something's going on. I believe that's the sound of my wife either making it to work or stopping somewhere. She asked me if I wanted a snow cone, and I told her no. I assumed she was stopping for herself too, and she didn't. Because there's no way she had time to stop and make it here. I adjust the camera so y'all can see better, and I'm still doing it off screen. You know what that tells you? It tells you I ain't in this for the money, I'm just in it to do it. So I did get that broken screw out of the number 9 terminal earlier, in between this video and the previous one. No way I'm having that much trouble getting these two wires through there. There you go, motor plug is installed on the wire channel. Here. Main thing is just feeding everything through. This takes a little while. Alright. The ground wire we're going to cut off about right there. Alright, we're going in the bottom left and D. Correct? Correct. So, this one, cut off about right there. This one, just cut off this one. About right there. Strip both of these back. I'm going to go ahead and just snug this up so the wire doesn't come out. You can tell I'm not left-handed by how long it took me to get that on there. Now, shorter one goes there, that one goes there. There's more stuff that goes on there, so I'm not tightening them in. And then there's just stuff that goes in there. I want to move this to the other side just for clearance purposes. On the wiring diagram there's something else that goes here. It's for the pin finder, but we don't have a pin finder on our machines, so that's just a blank block. I got 1, 2, 3 wires that go in there, so just for space saving purposes and access, move that over. Alright, motor plug's wired in. What is this? Magnetic clutch plug. So I'm just using these plugs to prop it up on the back. So this is the cycle solenoid plug. This would be TLR3. So you have a ground, which is wire number 27, and then 59 and 11. So 59 goes over to the time delay module, which we're eliminating. I'll show you how to do that later. And 11 goes to that same spot on the motor contactor. So we'll be coming here because this is our cycle relay. Instead of coming over here for the time delay module, which we eliminated, we'll be coming here, and then we'll be coming here, and then ground. So I believe, yep, these are the coils, so I'm going to have one wire come in here, and I'm going to have another wire over there. So I got enough ground, enough on that one. Need some more black. Hey look, it's some of my tools I've been looking for. Is that enough? For those of y'all that are going to be saying that I'm wasting wire and all this other stuff, you're correct, I am. It's really not that big a deal though. So, yay! Which one of these is the ground? This one's the ground. How do you know what's the ground, Rocky? Because it has a GR next to it. It says ground. Be sure to strip enough back so you don't tighten the screw down on the insulation of the wire. That's not a good day. It won't work if you do that. Or it might work sometimes and sometimes not, depending on how bad the connection is. Just saying. Not that I would know. Green. This one in. Actually, I need to add some wire in here for that. The cycle button didn't have enough wire on there, and it's right behind that plug. So, I'm going to cut some off. Extend it up. Just one time at band camp. Oh man. Just butt connectors. Perfectly fine. But on these I am going to twist them together. No. I'll use them normal. I've seen it done both ways. I thought about it, but I'd have to get a bigger butt connector to do it that way. So I don't like dealing with these tiny little wires that they have. And these butt connectors are fine. Like, as long as you're using them in the right time and place, they are perfectly acceptable, perfectly fine. Anybody who tells you otherwise doesn't know how to use them. Would I use them on the high voltage side? Probably not. But anything that's low voltage, there's absolutely no reason you would have to do anything other than this, unless you just want it to look better. Or you have something that works on precise voltage, but there is the cycle button wires coming in through the bottom. There we go. Now we got the cycle solenoid plug. Twist lock receptacle. Want to get technical? These things can be a pain in the butt to get on and off of here sometimes. Mainly because you gotta get the lip in. Sometimes I will even take the cover off just to make it a little easier, but if you pinch the channel together, you can normally at least get it started. I'll correct this later whenever I go to do the magnetic clutch plug, but oh well. Alright. Go the right way. Alright. Cutting the ground wire off. There. Cutting that one off. About right there. Cutting that one off. About right there. Oh, strippers. Where to put them? I wish I had time to do this to all of them. Just sit down and do nothing but rewire electrical panels all day until they're done, instead of having to do it as they go out. Yeah, I could have got this working on the machine. Honestly, I probably could have, no problem, but the issue is there's so much stuff that was already spliced and diced in here that might as well just go ahead and rewire the whole thing. Come on, get in there. Well, that's why you're pushing on the wrong one. That one's in. Big hand problems. So I got it in there, I got it snugged up, and then I pushed on it with my fingers, put pressure on it, and loosened off so it slid in there a little bit more. There we go. That one goes in there. Alright, so since we did away with the time delay module and we're going in with the cycle relay, here's our power out. I'm tired of dealing with this, so I'm just going to snug these two up. Just trying to make it easier because I knew I was going to be going in and out with them, but alright, and then this one is going to the high voltage terminal strip on D. We got one more wire to go in there. Socket solenoid plug is wired in. Moving on. Rectifier. Where is my bolt? Yeah, see, okay, these rectifiers, they come to where you can put a terminal on there. What are those called? The spade terminals? You can put a female on there. The one that was in there, why would they solder the wires to it? Tell me. Like, they even come with the stuff to put them on there. So I don't understand their logic there at all. But there should be a nut over here somewhere. Sorry, gotta find the right nut. I'll just use this screw because there's a nut on this one. I'll take it. I also don't know where this came from. It's a circuit board to replace the motor contactor. I don't know if they just used if that was meant for like a ball booster or a power lift or something, and they used it like that. I don't know. Sorry, I paused it while I went and got the wiring diagram for the new rectifier. Oh my goodness, that's gross. Oh. Energy drinks just don't taste the same after they warm up. Anyway. Positive capacitor wire number 24. Capacitor wire and wire 24. So wire 24 because the capacitor wire is no longer in existence. Wire number 24 is for magnetic clutch. So, I'm going to need this plug that I'm using to prop everything up so it doesn't fall over. We are going to... That works. Alright. The black and white wire, I believe. Just started raining here, guys. That's about half. Close enough. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Alright, alright. And yes, I'm putting ring terminals on these too. Just because we got the technology, we're already doing it. Might as well. If y'all are worried about how to do the cannon plugs and stuff like that, if your cannon plugs are bad, if I have time sometime and I find one somewhere, I'll rebuild a cannon plug. Show y'all how to do that. It's not fun. I do not enjoy that at all. So I'm going to have to tilt this down again, guys. Hadn't had to do that in a while. Wires in there. Now I've actually got weight in the panel. It wants to lean back that way. I had to stick stuff underneath it to keep it propped up earlier because it kept wanting to fall back on me. Diary of Jane by Breaking Benjamin's playing up front. I'm not going to be able to do this much longer because once we open, I'm going to have to stop. Alright, that wasn't so bad getting the magnetic clutch plug through there. Not near as bad as I thought it was going to be. Thought I was going to have trouble with that. Alright, there we go. These are both for the magnetic clutch. Alright. So, wire 24, so just one of them needs to attach right there. Come up behind everything on that. There we go. Next, we have wire number 49 from terminal strip 115 volt. 49 attaches on G at the top, or G on the right hand side, and then wire 82 comes off of G and goes to the coil on motor contactor. So D, E, F, G. So I need a wire right there and a wire right there. I think I have both of those. That's plenty. That was a little shorter. About the same. Right there. Sorry about that. People keep coming back here and talking to me. I'm a very popular guy, it seems. screwdriver. I wish I could have a team around me like a doctor does in the operating room. Flathead, Phillips head, wire cutters, wire strippers, needle nose. I'm gonna tell the owner to add that in the budget. People that hand your head mechanic crap. Good Lord. This is where the fun part comes in. Getting all these to sit down in there flat enough. Bend that just enough. That's all I have to do is bend it. There we go. That's the one. Phillips. Alright, since you want to be a pain in the butt, I'm going to fork it. Pro tip, don't do this while it's on the machine plugged in. Oh crap, Rocky. That's a dumb idea. There we go. Alright, now coming on around here. Wire cross conveyor micro switch. That would be the white one off the micro switch, which I don't have those wires in there yet. Pretty sure I'm going to run all new ones for that, so Excuse me. So with me eliminating that capacitor, that should have went to 24 as well. So capacitor is black, goes there, white goes there. Alright, so the other one for the switch needs to tie into here too. So I'll probably just tie in there with it. It's the same either way. A wire is a wire is a wire. No matter what end of the wire it connects to, it's still connected to the same wire. See, I told y'all I mess up. We're human. Doesn't help that I'm having to look at 3 different wiring diagrams, or 4 different wiring diagrams, but if I had the time, I'd sit down and combine all these, update it, get rid of the capacitor, get rid of the time delay module. Don't need it, what's the point of having it? As far as it goes to that. When it comes to protecting yourself and your family, if you don't need it, you should probably still have it, just in case. If you know, you know. If you don't ask. Yes, I'm from Texas. Nope. Oh, man. Thinking after I get this done, we might be done for a little while because with everything. About to open up. Not gonna have time to record and work. I wanted to do this on TikTok Live, but I couldn't get my computer to work with the live studio. I don't know if it's because it's a Samsung laptop or what. Alright, this one I'll just do a port terminal on instead of a ring. Just to make it easier. Be done with it. Oh, that was my screw up. keep going. What we got over here on the negative side. That was it. And then we got wire number 40 from contactor terminal. Wire number 40, I believe, is also on here. 33. No. Okay. 40's not on there. Alright. 40. So the bottom left of the contactor needs to go over there. Rectifier's done. Alright, so that wiring diagram I'm done with. Let's go get those. But not right now. Magnetic clutch. 30. 24 goes up there. Wire number 30. 30 is the bottom of the capacitor, along with the black wire from the switch. So this one also goes there. See, I told y'all, I make a lot of mistakes apparently. But oh well. Alright. 30 and 24. My bad, guys. Told y'all I make mistakes. It's a good thing I put a port terminal on there. On this one, without the capacitor in there, the black wire from the switch and then wire 30 just get wire nutted together. So technically, I could have ran the black wire from the switch back to that plug and been done with it. So I might still do that. Switch wire. Yep, I'm still going to do that. So the black wire from the cross conveyor micro switch just attaches to the wire number 30 spot on the magnetic clutch plug. That's how you bypass that capacitor. No reason for the capacitor to actually be there. Pull that out. I didn't even have to pull that out all the way. I'm an idiot, guys. I'm really stupid today. This will come right back through here instead of going all the way down. And I can cut it off. Stop, hey, what's that sound? Alright, sorry about that. Yes, so wire 30 goes to the micro switch if you're bypassing the capacitor. Wire 24 comes up here to the rectifier. That's how that goes. My bad, I messed up on that one, but I corrected it. And they're putting people on lanes now, so that's going to be all I can do today. I will try to finish this tomorrow. I don't know if I'll have time to, but if not, by Thursday, it should be done. So, y'all have a good one. Good luck and high scoring.